If you play over backing tracks for practice, you've probably heard that kind of chord combination a million times. If you ever search for an A Dorian backing track in particular, 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get 2 chords. You're going to get an A minor or an A minor 7 to a D major or a D dominant 7. That's a cool sound for sure, but if you're looking for something fresh, here are some other ways to twist around that sound and to get even more out of the Dorian tonality. The 2 chord is also minor or a minor 7. So you can do a 1 to 2 chord progression and they're both minor 7s. If that's too simple, you can just combine the first idea, which is kind of cliche, but 1-4-2 or 1-2-4, whatever works for your ear. The other thing you can do, which is maybe too simple, but you can just do all of the chords that are similar to the natural minor. Remember, if you don't hit that 4 chord right away, there's no way to know for sure that you're in a Dorian tonality. You can do like a 1-3-7 chord progression, and it would be the same exact chord progression as if you were doing a 1-3-7 in natural minor or Aeolian. So you can do that to kind of trick your ear and create some anticipation for that eventual major 6 interval, which will show up as the 4 chord being dominant or some other ways, which we'll get into in a second. But check this out. It's a little better, still kind of predictable, probably cliche. There's definitely a lot of songs, a lot of rock songs with that type of chord progression, but still better than just the 1-4 the entire time, right? The other thing is, let's try to use the major 6 in other ways. Here's something that's going to sound a little different, maybe a little bit more tilted to a jazz kind of sound, but the tonic chord does not have to be a minor or a minor 7. It can be a minor 6 chord for obvious reasons. You got that minor 3rd, but you also have a major 6. Here's what it sounds like. So that could be the 1 chord. And the last idea I'll talk about today is the half diminished chord. So I've been avoiding it until now. It's got a weird sound. Sometimes it doesn't always sound very stable, but the 6 chord in A Dorian or in any Dorian is going to be a minor 7 flat 5, otherwise known as a half diminished chord. So in the name, it's right there. It's basically a minor 7 chord, but that perfect 5th has to be a flat 5th or a diminished 5th. This is what it would sound like off the E string. It's an F sharp half diminished. This is how it would sound more mixed into a traditional chord progression. That half diminished is also an inversion of the 4 chord. If you turn the 4 chord into a dominant 9, which is totally diatonic to A Dorian, then you can play the half diminished and kind of make it seem to the ear that it's just an inversion. So there you go, some other ideas that are all still in the scale of Dorian, all diatonic harmonies, but that will give you a different sound. You're going to sound less cliche, less predictable, and that will hopefully give you some different ideas and inspire you for different melody writings and songwriting.